Yo, what is up guys? It's me exactly back bringing some more daily NBA news. Hope you're all having a great day. Thank you once again for joining me. You guys are the real MVPs, and hey, if you're new here then you are also greatly appreciated. But make sure you hit the sub button and the bell as well so you can stay up to date with everything that's going on in the NBA on a daily basis. But now let's just take a look at what is going on in the NBA. But first, a quick word about this video sponsor, athleticcases.com. Basketball, baseball, football, or soccer, no matter what the sport, you guys can now rock your favorite player on the back of your phone. Use the promo code ZachLee for 10% off. Links are in the description box below. Guys, so game one of the Eastern Conference Finals between the Boston Celtics and the Cleveland Cavaliers was absolutely insane. And when I say insane, I mean insane. As the Celtics absolutely destroyed the Cavs. Marcus Morris, who said he was the second best player in the league at guarding LeBron James behind Kawhi Leonard, backed up his words yesterday as he and the Boston Celtics limited LeBron James to only 15 points on inefficient shooting from the field to go along with 7 turnovers. One of the worst games that LeBron James has ever had in the playoffs, period. And of course, after this win, people have been going crazy, including Donovan Mitchell, who tweeted out this: "Just turn on the game." Yeah, D-Mitch, I'm pretty sure that's how we all felt during this game at some point. However, of course, it's still too early to be calling the series right now, to count LeBron James and the Cleveland Cavaliers out after one terrible game. But the Boston Celtics did make a statement out of game one saying, "Yo, Cleveland, remember how you guys beat us by 50 in the Eastern Conference Finals last year? Well, guess what? That ain't happening again this year." And after the game, of course, LeBron James did say that he's not worried at all. Matter of fact, he says that he has zero level of concern.
Down 1-0, what's your level of concern at this stage?
I have zero level of concern at this stage.
And that he always just uses the first game as a feeler game.
For me, game one has always been a fill-out game for me. If you ever follow my history.
And now that he knows how the Celtics are going to defend him, he'll be more prepared for game two.
I got a good sense of the way they played me today, and and how I play going into game two.
However, the craziest thing that LeBron James did during that post-game interview was perfectly describe a sequence of events that happened earlier on in the game.
Marla Ridenour, Akron Beacon Journal. When the start of the fourth, I think they cut it to 14. Do you have any idea what? I mean, I think they scored 7 quick ones. Anything? What happened there?
What happened? We ran him the first possession. We ran him down all the way to 2 on the shot clock. Marcus Morris missed a jump shot, followed it up. They got a dunk. We came back down. We ran a set for Jordan Clarkson, and he came off and missed it. They rebounded it, and we came back on the defensive end, and we got a stop. They took it out on the sideline. Jason Tatum took the ball out, threw it to Marcus Smart in the short corner. He made a 3. We come back down, missed another shot, and then Tatum came down and went 94 feet, did a Euro step, and made a right-hand layup timeout. There you go.
That was right after the game. He didn't have time to watch film. He remembered an entire sequence of events that went down perfectly. And I don't know, maybe when LeBron James says he's going to go watch the film, maybe he means he's just going to close his eyes and project it onto the back of his eyelids, because I swear this guy records everything that he sees. Anyways, game 2 is tomorrow, and it will be interesting to see how LeBron James and the Cleveland Cavaliers respond. Next up in the news, it appears that Andrew Wiggins might be fated to spend some more time with the Minnesota Timberwolves. As with how poorly he played during the regular season this year, no teams are interested in trading for Andrew Wiggins right now. As some inside sources at The Athletic said this: "From what I can gather, Wiggins doesn't have a huge amount of value on the market right now. He's about to start a 5-year, $148 million contract and is coming off less than a convincing 4th season in the league." That's a very generous way of putting it. If there isn't a great market, they might be better off just holding on to him and trying to keep developing him. I still think the best possible outcome for the Wolves is to get Wiggins to blossom into some kind of star caliber player that the organization envisioned when he was signed to the max extension. So he's pretty much untradeable unless the Wolves are okay with getting not even pennies but fractions of pennies on the dollar in return for Andrew Wiggins. There is some good news about Andrew Wiggins though, as Tracy McGrady said that he is willing to work out with Andrew Wiggins, to train with Andrew Wiggins this summer.
Available, come work out with me, my Adidas guy.
Do you actually mean it, or is this an actual
I'm
invitation?
serious. I talked to him about this during the Hall of Fame weekend, and We exchange numbers. I would love to work him out because the upside for him is huge because he's so talented.
Yo, that gets me excited. As you guys may or may not know, Tracy McGrady is one of my all-time favorite players. I loved watching that guy play. I have nothing but massive respect for Tracy McGrady. And before this season, I would have considered myself to have been an Andrew Wiggins, I'm not gonna say fan, but hopeful. I was hoping that he would blossom into a star in the league. So if he can work out with T-Mac this summer and improves his all-around game, I'd be stoked. That being said, Andrew Wiggins, you had better not pass up this opportunity. Also in the news, speaking of players getting better, Kyle Kuzma, the Lakers standout rookie, one of the biggest surprises of the 2017 NBA draft, says that he is getting better just from watching the playoffs alone. I don't think you can watch the game as a fan anymore. Once you're a player, you're just so into getting better and improving that you're locked into the game with a coaching mindset. For me, watching the playoffs has been a big experience. I'm learning so much from the game. It's a completely different game than the regular season to the playoffs. It'll be interesting to see if Kuzma really does get better just from watching, but then again, I'm sure he's putting in work during the summer off the court too. So with these two things combined, him saying that he can get better just from watching the game combined with the work he's putting in this summer, I can't wait to see how much better Kyle Kuzma does come back next year. Moving on to our next story though, the Houston Rockets are set to take on the Golden State Warriors later tonight in Game 1 of the Western Conference Finals. And according to the Houston Rockets, one of the most important players in this series is going to be Clint Capela. It's not just about this series. He's important to our team. It's no secret everybody always wants to point out me and James, but he's the X factor. When Clint doesn't play, we're in trouble. That is what Chris Paul had to say about Clint Capela, but Mike D'Antoni took it a step further by saying that the Golden State Warriors are underestimating Clint Capela. They underestimate him, which is good for us. The big thing is there's always a little caveat. He's good for his role. No, he's good. He's a good center. For anybody who wants to play basketball, the guy can play. Now, do you guys remember during the regular season when Clint Capela came out and said that the Houston Rockets are a better team than the Golden State Warriors, and how Kevin Durant clapped back at Clint Capela, basically saying that Capela can't say that since his job is so easy, it's not hard at all. All he does is have to lay the ball in after getting spoon-fed by James Harden or Chris Paul. Well, I think this Mike D'Antoni comment was directed at Kevin Durant. So guys, keep an eye out for Clint Capela this series. I think he's gonna come out looking to prove something, even though he's already proved that he is a really good center this year, and even more so in the playoffs. The guy has been phenomenal, outplaying both Karl Anthony Towns and Rudy Gobert, two of the more elite centers in the NBA. And for our final story, sports gambling has officially been made legal in the United States, as the Supreme Court finally overturned a law which prohibited it in the past. Now, this has been a talking point amongst the major league associations for years, and it just recently started picking up steam to the point where it's at now. Adam Silver, the NBA commissioner, has been saying that he wants the leagues to get a cut of the profit, which is fair. I can see where he's coming from. It's estimated that Americans illegally bet over $150 billion in sports every single year, and that number is about to grow exponentially now that it's legal and people won't be scared of doing it. So I can for sure see why the NBA, NHL, MLB, all the major sports league want a cut of that pie. But of course, anytime there's gambling mixed in with a professional sport, the integrity of the games come into question. Now, some people already believe that professional sports are rigged, but now that there's going to be even more betting, you best to believe that even more people are going to believe that these sports are rigged. However, all of the major leagues are claiming that the integrity of their games is still of the utmost importance, with the MLB saying our most important priority is protecting the integrity of our games. We will continue to support legislation that creates airtight coordination and partnerships between the state, casino operations, and the governing bodies in sports towards that goal. The NFL saying the NFL's long-standing and unwavering commitment to protecting the integrity of our game remains absolute. Congress has long recognized the potential harms posed by sports betting to the integrity of sporting contests and the public's confidence in these events. Given that history, we intend to call on Congress again, this time to enact a core regulatory framework for legalized sports betting. We also will work closely closely with our clubs to ensure that any state effort that move forward in the meantime protect our fans and the integrity of our game. And lastly, the NBA saying, we remain in favor of a federal framework that will provide a uniform approach to sports gambling in states that choose to permit it, but we will remain active in ongoing discussions with state legislatures. Regardless of the particulars of any future sports betting law, the integrity of our game remains our highest priority. So they're basically all saying the same thing, that they want to come up with some type of way to prevent illegal sports gambling or prevent the rigging of the games through sports gambling because they care about the integrity of the game, the fairness. How they could do this though, I have no clue. As for how bets are going to be placed now, for now it still seems like you're going to have to go into a betting establishment and place bets, but they are working on something that will allow you to place bets from your phone. And once that happens, once it's widely accessible like that, expect to see the number of people who gamble their entire future away skyrocket. And that brings us to the question of the day. How do you guys feel about sports gambling being legalized? Do you like it? Do you hate it? Let me know all of your thoughts and opinions down in the comment section below. But that is going to do it for today's video. Hope you guys enjoyed it. If you did, be sure to smack that like button and subscribe to the channel so you don't miss out on more daily NBA news. Thank you once again for watching. I'll see all of you right back here tomorrow. But until then, keep getting the bucks, Team ITC, and I'm out of here. Peace!